Just give yourself time to arrive onto the mat. So often in life, we tend to rush to things. We tend to create schedules and to-do lists. But when we start to practice, it's not about anything other than letting go. So you might just let go of this idea that you have to be busy today, or things to do, things to achieve, whatever it might be. Just sigh out. And see if you can bring your attention to the ground. Always start from the bottom. Whenever our mind is too busy, too many thoughts, we just need to rewire and reset. So you might like to just feel the texture of the floor beneath you. If it's a mat or maybe wooden floor, maybe carpet, whatever you have. Just notice how it feels. And then you might like to just bring your attention to the skin, just the air on the skin. Hot day today. We don't usually think of it as this, but our skin is an organ, not really any different to our heart or our lungs, our spleen, our liver. Essentially the biggest organ in the body. Skin cells are always changing. We lose them, new ones come along. You might draw your attention just to the feeling of your tongue in the mouth, the taste. As we stay still and we bring our attention to the mouth, you might notice the body generates a little more saliva. And this is just our digestive system switching on. Converting whatever food we've eaten and a little bit of whatever air we've breathed into the energy that we need. Let's take our hands by the side of the body, and as we always do, let's take a breath in and lift up, reaching high. And then sighing out, letting the palms sink down. Just feel like your arms are an extension of the whole body. Our breath an extension or an expression of our life energy. One more time. And let's bring our palms down onto the body now. We'll just spend a little bit longer in our breath. Palms resting on the body. You might take one to your heart center, one to your lower belly. Maybe inviting the corners of your mouth to raise, little smile. Notice the feeling of softening around your cheeks, around your eyes, your forehead. If it feels a little unfamiliar, just hold it, even if there's nothing to smile about on this morning, even if life feels a little difficult right now. When you feel ready, you might like to just trace your breath, just follow the next breath. Feel it expand into the body. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118 And then as you sigh out, just let the shoulders be heavy. You might focus on your sit bones. Take the time to notice where your breath is. It might be deep in the belly, or it might be under the heart. Might feel a little more present in the mouth or the nose, the back of the throat. You might like to just feel like you're following your breath, just as if you're walking down a path all the way in and all the way out. And as we arrive into our breath, maybe we also arrive into the present moment. When we become truly present, it's usually because we're noticing new things. So, state of mindfulness is not just about presence, but it's about curiosity. Curiosity means you're being alive to change, noticing change. Mind often tells us that everything is the same, or life is predictable or boring, but this is not true. Things are always changing. So what can we notice on this day? At the end of your next breath, you might just drop the chin down and take your hands down. We're just going to roll our shoulders. And we might also just take a turn of our neck. Just bring your chin to your shoulder, just easing it across. Maybe take a breath back in to come back to the center and then turn the other way. One more each side. And when you're ready, we'll just come up to stand. So in today's Qigong practice, we'll be learning some of the 8 brocades, and on our Mondays at the moment, we're just breaking down some of these 8 forms. These are classic Qigong forms, kind of forms that many people all around the world do every single day. And different forms are for different ailments or different parts of the body where our energy might be blocked. So quite often Chinese doctors will prescribe some of these forms if you have a specific issue in your body, if you go and see a doctor. So we'll get to that in a little bit, but as we always do, let's warm up a few of our joints first. We'll bring our palms together. Let's just raise our heels off the ground a little bit, press into the toes. And just take your time. You might just come up a millimeter off the ground, maybe 1 centimeter. Notice as you raise your heels, if you start to hold the breath. Ideally, we want to be sighing out As we press into the ball of the foot, press into the toes, we're finding our kidney 1 point, our Yong Chen point. This is called the bubbling spring. You've heard me talk about it many times. Start of our kidney meridian. So press under the ball of your big toe. Just allow your body to float off the ground. Doesn't matter how high you get. And you might just bring all your attention to the toes. Next time you come up, you might bring all your attention to the palms, pressing palm into palm, allowing the elbows to be wide. Just allow your body to slowly open out. We're strengthening our calf muscles, our ankle joints, our Achilles tendon. So much happening here, even though it's such a simple movement. Helps us move towards balance. Next time we come down, let's just raise one of our heels, bend that knee, and then we'll switch. Prancing like a pony. Notice if you lose your sense of balance here. Just pressing from one side to the other. You might just subtly shift your weight onto the standing leg. Just allowing that energy to move up our kidney meridian from the ball of our foot, through the ankles, through the back of the calves, right up to the knee. Let's come back down. We're going to bring our legs together. Now, knee joints are hinge joints. They're meant to just pretty much go forward and back. But holding our feet and legs together, we can bring a little bit more movement. Might take small circles. Cup your knees, protect your knees. So even though the joints not really meant to move side to side, as you press through the feet, find all four corners of your feet and just invite the small movement into the knee joints. You will strengthen those joints. And when you're ready, let's slowly come back up. We're going to stand up straight. We're going to keep moving that kidney energy up our body from toes right to our kidneys. And we'll do that by stepping one leg out, straighten that leg, and press the heel into the ground. Now we're going to pretend we're a Cossack dancer, cross our elbows and drop our weight back. You might imagine you're listening to Boney M's Rasputin, if that works for you. If not, just take a breath. Sigh out. Slowly come back up, step back. And then we'll come to the other side. Now, there shouldn't be too much pressure on your knee. If there is, it might be because you're leaning too far forward. Go keep the back straight, bring the chin up. Should be able to look down and see your toes. Weight in the back of the body as far back as you can manage. Slowly coming up, leaning back. Let's do one more each side. This is a strong sensation, so just come down as far as works for your body. You'll feel your hamstring muscles stretching at the back of the body. Kidney energy moving, flowing. Stepping back up one last time. Big sigh out. And we'll slowly step back up. Let's take our hands behind. Now we're going to rub the kidneys, both sides of the spine. Just bringing warmth, encouraging circulation through this part of the body. And we're going to do a little bit of tapping today. And this is one where the flow might feel a little unusual. We're going to go stomach, lung point, kidney, lung point, stomach. So just see if you can rock your weight back into the heels. Chin is tucking in a little bit. And just feel your neck long, your spine long. So your weight's right in the back of the body. And you don't have to be tapping these points hard. You're just effectively inviting your energy to move and flow back through these points. Our kidney point at the back of the body connects us to our willpower. And our stomach point at the front connects us to creativity and intention. And out of balance, these things tend to hold us in fear and worry, anxiety, obsessive thoughts, where we keep thinking the same thing each day and we can't really shake it, even though we know the thought is not serving us. So if you feel stuck in any of those things, overthinking or anxiety, if your mind is always rushing ahead from where you are, just allow that energy to flow back through these points. And if you feel completely uncoordinated and you're losing your rhythm, that's okay too. Just trust your body's intuition. All right, let's shake our hands out. You might like to just lift a leg, shake it out. Feel that chi, feel that energy. We've worked a lot on our lower body. We're just going to see if we can move that energy back up the spine a little bit now. And we're going to do this through just taking one arm behind and then the other. Just feel the shoulder roll back. Your hips, knees, feet all stay facing forward. So see if you can feel that heaviness through the ground. You might like to bring your attention back to the feet the whole time, even though you're moving your shoulders. Just feel that steadiness, connectedness, deep rootedness. And as always, if you feel like you want to open deeper, just follow the fingers behind. Allowing the body to open up slowly. And we'll come back, shake it out again. All right, take a moment. We're going to bring our hands behind and we're just going to hold them kind of facing back towards our kidneys. Maybe that's the easiest to show you. So our chest is open, our weight is on the heels. This might feel like a bit of an awkward way to stand. Just go with it for a moment. Tuck in the chin, feel the back of the neck long. And see if you can just bring your attention to that lower back, to our kidneys, to our adrenals. You might like to just follow the next breath. Allow your heart rate to slow. And we'll take our arms back down. So today we're going to start again. We might start with the water form. So the sixth form of the Baoduan Jin forms is essentially like a deep back bend and then a deep forward fold. So if you've done any yoga, you'll be very aware of these shapes. So I encourage you to keep your feet, all four corners of the feet. So just press down, heel, all of the foot toes, everything engaged, everything heavy. We're going to take our arms up, leaning up, reaching up, leaning back. And then we're going to sigh out. Just allow the hands to come in front of the face. When you reach the heart level, we're going to pause the breath, turn the palms up, and then we'll inhale to take the hands behind the back. As we exhale, we trace the bladder meridian down the back of the body, all the way down. Just let the head be heavy. Sense of just letting out every last bit of carbon dioxide. Bring the head in between the arms. Reach the hands forward. Press through the feet. We're going to come up. This is a strong lift. Reaching up. Big breath in all the way up and back. And then we sigh out again. Pause the breath at the heart. Inhale, take the hands behind. And then letting go. So what you want to start feeling as you move through this form is a sense of fluidity. Inhale to reach forward, lift up. This is a big breath in. And then sighing out. See if you can feel the whole expression of the form as water flowing, no hesitating, allowing the breath to flow through you and in you. If you feel like you run out of breath, just notice that too. You might bring your attention to some of the pauses in between breath. Letting go. So I'll stop cueing the breath. We don't have to be in sync. Just find your flow, sense of reaching, leaning back. You should feel your whole body move like a wave. Every wave is different. Tide comes in and goes out. As we move like water, we flex and extend our spine. And we invite energy to flow through the whole body. So this is a strong form. We're connecting all of the meridian lines. They all meet right at the back of your lumbar spine, pretty much directly behind where your belly button is, your navel. And as always, every practice, please remember that every cue is an invitation. Take a break whenever you need to. With every practice, we start where we are and no destination. Every day we wake up a little differently. Some days we need more, and some days we just need to be kind to ourselves. And whenever you're ready, at the end of your next cycle, just bring your palms back to the belly. Wrap one hand over the other. Allow your attention just to come back to the breath. Just noticing any small changes in the body, in the flow of energy, the feeling in the body. If when you become still, you find that your mind is still busy, just tell yourself, I have arrived. Maybe this is my destination. Where have we arrived? We've arrived at emptiness. From emptiness comes infinite possibility, unlimited potential. Maybe just noticing when we strip away all those ideas, all those intellectualisms, when we let go of all our knowledge, our conditioning, anything is possible. All right, let yourself just stretch out body. You might shake out arms, shake out legs again. This water element form is a strong form, so just notice how what your body needs just to reset. So we're going to go all the way back to the very first form of the Bhagwan Jin, and this is usually called a heavenly lift. One of my favorite Qigong forms because it helps me practice the box breath, the four-sided breath, where we bring our attention to not just the in and out, but the pause in between. And in this stillness, there's so much space, there's so much expansion. So we start by interlacing our palms, palms face up. We'll take a breath in and we're going to lift up, turning at the heart, pressing up and looking up. Pause the breath and bring your eyes forward. And then we sigh out. Just allow all the energy to sink down, weight in the heels. Then we wait for the next breath to come. Maybe it comes straight away. We pause at the top of the breath, bring our eyes forward, and then we sigh out. So again, don't worry about following the pattern of my movements. Just allow your breath to naturally change. No trying, no pushing or forcing. Notice when the next breath needs to come, your body will tell you. Notice when you need to sigh out, your body will tell you. So I encourage you to maybe look away from the screen, turn another way if you like. Just allow every movement to be an expression of your breath. In our lifetime, apparently we breathe about, on average, 670 million times. I love that number. How many breaths are we mindful of? How many breaths do we remember? You might just focus on the very next one. Every day, apparently about 25,000 breaths, but we only need to do about 12,000. So very common for us to breathe twice as often as we need to. Gasping or grasping for the next breath. rushing to the next thing. How can we teach our body to move towards healing? One of the best ways is just to show it. So the purpose of this form, this is a form for our triple warmer, our body's thermostat. Regulating our temperature from high to low, from head to toe. Allowing our blood to flow. If you had just been bitten by a snake, this would probably be the worst thing that you could do, because it would make the venom move through the whole body. If you get bitten by a snake, stay still. Don't move anything. Just notice that sense of flow, of movement. Blood sending oxygen to the brain. And maybe from that oxygen, we have better ideas, more clarity. We make better decisions. We're less reactive and a little more just responsive. We'll just do a couple more, and I'll just invite you to just take all your attention now just to the pause in between the breaths, not to the breaths themselves. Just feel into the stillness. You might add a little twist into this form. As we take the hands up, press up, look up, pause the breath, and then turn to the side. Take one arm behind, one in front. Just allow the shoulder to open up. When the next breath comes, turn back to the front. Inhale, lifting up. Press up and look up. As you sigh out, take one arm behind. So let's just keep alternating side to side. Allow the spine to open up. And we'll do one more each side. When you're ready, just come back to the center. Wrap your hands back over the belly. Maybe taking a moment to notice that elusive thing called our chi. We started off this practice with that kind of balance of raising our heels, and we're going to return to the same thing. Maybe if you can take your mind back just 30 or 40 minutes ago, when you first lifted your heels, you might have felt a little unsteady or unsure. Now that we've moved all that kidney energy up our body, let's just see how we go. So the very last form of the Bhagwan Jin, 8 brocades, is usually called something like lifting the heels to cure the 100 illnesses. And I don't know that there is exactly 100 illnesses. Quite often in Taoism, when they say the 10,000 things, it means everything. Like, I think that was back in the days before billionaires and millionaires. So the 10,000 things is like everything that could possibly go wrong. So the 100 illnesses is probably in our ancient times, thousands of years ago, there probably wasn't more than 100 illnesses. So many modern illnesses that we have, cancers and asthma and diabetes, are all modern things created by us eating more than we need, eating too many sugars, not doing enough exercise, not moving around as we used to when we were hunter-gatherers, being static and sedentary, living in cities and places where diseases more easily spread. That all sounds like doom and gloom, doesn't it? But the idea is the 100 illnesses can be cured with this quite simple form, and this is it. It's just lifting your heels off the ground and then dropping down. And you can drop down fast or slow, but please make sure you're balanced. Just notice what it feels like, floating, heels up, and then just letting them come down. And you might feel a little bit of jarring in your hips or your knees. That's okay. That's the chi, the energy settling. If you like, you can hold onto the wall or a chair or your hips. And just like at the start, notice if you're holding your breath. Doesn't matter how far up you come, you can just be a millimeter off the ground. And we tend to ease when we're taking our balance, but this time just let your heels drop down. Just let go. You might feel a little shudder through your jaw, through your brain, through your hips, through your knees, your shoulders. And there you go, 100 illnesses all cured. Let's do one more. All right, we'll finish today just by letting our arms be heavy. Make sure as you turn, there's no effort. Arms are just moving with the rotation of the spine. You might like to scan through cheeks, through jaw, through teeth. There's nothing holding the tension. Maybe invite back that cheeky little grin. Take a big sigh. And just let your arms come back by the body. We'll bring our palms together, create last little bit of peace. It's a Monday morning. You might like to make an intention for this week. Let your intention be a simple one, a positive one. No giving up, no promises, just something simple. Maybe let my heart be open to everyone I meet. May each morning when I wake up, life be a mystery of adventure, not a problem to be solved. Or maybe just, may I trust in the healing power of the universe. Let's draw our palms together and we'll bow to each other, just as always, acknowledging shared energy of coming together on the mat.